This is the British military cemetery at Bolsena in Italy, and the lake you see there is the lake of the same name, Lake Bolsena, and there's a walk down to the cemetery itself. Now, this is located almost halfway between Rome and Siena. It's slightly closer to Rome is the Siena, but that'll give you an idea. The road you take to get here is the Italian SS2. It's the Via Cassia, which was started in around 150 BCE. So it's 2,150 years old, in fact more than that. And the lake itself is volcanic. Of course, the volcano is no longer active. In fact, volcanologists, as I understand it, don't really recognise the idea of non-active volcanoes. But for the layperson, we can say, I think, that it's not active. There's no magma chamber underneath it. That is known. It's unusual to have such a walk down to the cemetery as we see here. This cemetery, in fact, is one of not many in Italy, which is of this size. It's quite small. And as you could see, I mean, my vehicle, which is really too big for the parking, too long, took up a great deal, took up in fact the entire parking space. But I think you could possibly get 3 small vehicles in there, so it's not really expecting lots of visitors. But as you can see, now today is the 15th of January, but it's quite an attractive day. I mean, the clouds do look a bit menacing, but it's not cold. It's a very pleasant day for walking. It's because the wind, though it may sound greater on the video, but it's relatively gentle, and it's about the right temperature for walking. Not too hot. Again, it's not cold though. There are 600 Commonwealth graves here. That includes 10 which are unknown and 3 from other countries. So in total, I should say 587 Commonwealth plus 13 others. In Italy, none of the British cemeteries are battle cemeteries as such. They are places where people were brought who had been killed in various battles, and they were put into one particular place. So not even the cemeteries and casino are just from, for example, the casino battles. Italy was an extremely difficult country to attack, particularly if you're attacking from the south and working your way north, because it's got this mountain backbone which runs the entire length of the country, and then it's got also the rivers which flow in both directions to the Adriatic and to the Tyrrhenian seas. So it is not an easy country to attack. It is, on the other hand, a relatively easy country to defend. Now, World War II is the war where Blitzkrieg came into its own. So that the mass attacks by tanks, supported by aircraft, etc. So that worked very well in France, it worked very well in the Soviet Union, Poland, etc. Even in the desert as well, that was a ideal terrain. Italy is not suited for that type of terrain. A single tank really is no more than a self-propelled gun. So let's have a look at the dates on some of these graves. 17th of June 1944. 17th of June 1944. So these people were killed on the same day, and they are all Royal Naval people. In fact, all of them are the same day, and they're all from the Navy. So let's have a look at row 3E, and we've got G. Lanchester from the Coldstream Guards. He was killed on 17th December 1944, and he was 20. 10th of September 44, 21. 18th of September 44. Gunner Thraxton from the Royal Artillery, 29 years old. He must have gone through the entire war, and he died only a few months before it actually ended. Royal West Kent Regiment, Pioneer Corps, Royal Engineers. Corporal Barber from the Royal Signals was killed on 9th of September 1944, aged 33. Many of them are in their 20s. I haven't seen anybody older than 33 so far. So, of course, they are soldiers, so I mean, this is what one expects. There's Gunner Prickett's from the Royal Artillery, it's 38. I think you'd agree that the location is very pleasant, overlooking the lake to a large degree. Very quiet and peaceful here. I suspect there hasn't been anybody here for a while, judging by the wood, the twigs and what have you, because normally they're so well kept, but I think this just adds to it. It makes it more peaceful. When I went to and filmed the Beachhead Cemetery at Anzio last year, or 2013 in fact, that was 18 months ago, 19 months ago, I was really impressed how nice it actually looked. But also here, I think we can see that's very pleasant. Now, the dead here are obviously mainly from when they're fighting in this area. I did say earlier that there aren't particular battle cemeteries, but obviously these are people from the summer of 1944, and probably up towards the war's end. Rome was captured on the 4th of June 1944, and the advance continued north towards the Gothic Line, which is some way further north from here. And that was where it stopped largely for the winter, and the Allies took the offensive again in the spring. Now, the question I'm going to put now is this. Was it worth it? Was it worth the attack on Italy? The idea was great, but it was mishandled. The Salerno landings, which the Allies, which announced that Italy had signed the armistice, so that the Germans were able to be prepared. Major mistake there. Then, once it got stuck, the Cassino position, the why continue? Really difficult land to attack. What was the point? There's the song, the D-Day Dodgers, which is quite ironic. I can't remember the entire song, but I can remember the first verse, which I'm now going to tell you. We landed at Salerno, holiday with pay. The Germans brought their bands out and cheered us on our way. They showed us the sight and gave us tea. We all got drunk, the beer was free. We are the D-Day Dodgers, the lads who D-Day dodged. Now, Lady Astor did say that she never used the words D-Day Dodgers, but that was the impression that many who fought in Italy had.